I want to talk about the top surgery question because I have so many thoughts that I've gone through myself on top surgery. So the question that we have is, what should I keep in mind when considering top surgery? So let's talk about top surgery.
Let's do it. So I said earlier that I got surgery over the pandemic, so I can share a little bit about my story there. As a non-binary person, I have never had really, really intense body dysphoria. So I didn't have intense body dysphoria about my chest really ever. But I also didn't have any good feelings about it. It was very neutral to me, and sexually, like, didn't really do anything for me. Um, and I got to a point where I'd been considering top surgery for years, like kind of in the back of my head, not seriously, just kind of thinking about it. And I realized that I had made some assumptions. I had assumed that I needed to hate my body or have very intense gender dysphoria in order to get top surgery. And I assumed that I needed to, how do I put it? That I needed to have this urgency to it in order
It
to get
has to be life or death, otherwise it's not
to like
real.
that. Exactly. And I just didn't feel those things. But I did come to the point over the pandemic where I was like, you know what? The only reason that I have not gotten top surgery is that I've always had my body as is. It does nothing for me. I am wearing really tight sports bras or binders pretty much all the time. Let's do the thing. And once I made the decision, it happened really fast, like unusually fast. So that was kind of a thing. But in terms of what to think about, number one, think about why it is that you want it and consider that you don't have to be in a place where you are desperate or hating yourself or hating your body. It can just be something that you think will bring you closer to the how you want to show up in the world. And that is okay. Another thing I will say there that I talk about a lot in Gender Magic is, I have a good bit of a good chunk of things about medical regret in there because I'm fascinated by that topic. And one of,
It's such a popular topic among transphobes, and like we, at least the folks I know in the trans community, have so very little of it.
yeah, it is interesting to me. It's talked about so much, but I'm like, I've been a therapist here for 10 years. I've never had anybody that regretted it. Never. Not any aspect of their transition. Well, I can get into that another time. What I'm saying about top surgery and things to consider is the research shows that when you make a decision from a cold place, as in opposition to a hot place, then you are less likely to regret the decision no matter what the outcome. What that means and what cold means is really grounded. So, not in an escalated place,
Right.
not a desperate place, not with this really like soul sucking urgency, but from a place where you are making a decision that is grounded in whatever fact finding you need to find and feels good in your gut versus going in emotionally hot or impulsive and making a big decision. And the piece here I really want to highlight for folks is that this is true. You are less likely to experience regret no matter what the outcome. That's huge.
Yeah, so such an important thing, and I think something that I would add on to this point is that when you are thinking about it and evaluating it, just be aware of who you're talking to about it because sometimes folks say some shit that is deeply unhelpful. I was living with someone and I was talking to them about my, like, whether I wanted to get top surgery or not. And they, I think in a moment of their own impulsivity, said to me, well, but you should just be really, really sure because, like, you have such great breasts. And so, like, you should just be really sure before you do anything. And I was like, uh,
No.
why?
Mm-mm.
And, um, yeah, like, and this is someone who is like very sex positive, very leftist, like someone who is supposed to be one of the good ones. And it was just such a weird moment for me of like sitting there with someone who's basically saying like, well, but like don't make a silly impulsive decision and just chop your tits off because people like them. Uh, and like, here's the thing. I think that if this sort of thing is something that you have never had to consider, you may not understand the impact of that kind of statement.
Yeah.
And like, this person may have regretted it as soon as it came out of their mouth. I don't know. They never addressed it to me and after that at all. But like, the place that I was in already of confusion about whether this was something I even wanted was definitely not helped by, but your tits are hot, so be super sure about it.
Yeah, no.
Because, like, I know they're hot, they're fabulous, and your
Objectively.
opinion on my tits is not important
Yep.
here.
Yep. That is super real. I think one thing I did, and I'm always in favor of, your trusted people talking to them, your therapist, sure, absolutely. It's helpful to have people who know you, who love you, who see you, to talk through some of these things. And for me personally, I did a lot of it on my own. And it was over a period of several years where I sat with it and sat with myself and kind of felt into my gut if this was something that I wanted or not. And so by the time that I started telling people, like, it was booked. And a lot of people
Right.
were surprised. They felt like it was impulsive, but it wasn't at
No.
all. It was many years in the making, a lot of considering, but it was just considering that I did when I got still and quiet with myself and asked myself, what do you want? How do you want to show up in the world? And you can never be 100% certain, but I was certain enough that I was willing to take that risk.
Yeah. And I think, for me, at the time that that comment was said, I had been thinking about it, talking about it in therapy for over a year already. And so this idea that it was going to be some impulsive decision, I was like, you I've been thinking about this for ages already. Uh, and I, like, late last year, I think, maybe early this year, kind of came to the place of like, I think I actually don't want top surgery because,
Yeah.
unlike you, I get a lot of pleasure from my tits, and I don't
Yeah.
want them all the time. But like, there are times I want to show these babies off. I just wish they were detachable. I wish I could just pop them off, right, and just put them on for special occasions. Like
Yeah.
that's what I want.
You're not the first person that I've heard say that. And the desire for like boobs in a jar that you can just like take on and off,
I
somebody
just
needs to
want
invent
hot
that.
swappable body parts of all kinds. I want a
Great.
clip-on dick that's like actually innervated and my own like tissue so I can feel it. I want to be able like I just want all of it. And it's not possible yet.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have a question in the question. Do you have anything
Okay.
else you want to say about top surgery stuff?
Just a couple things. So, first of all, do it for you. I think some
Mhm.
people go into top surgery thinking, well, I'm gonna do this and then people will see me for who I am. Or I'm gonna do this and then like I will never be misgendered again and all my gender dysphoria will go away.
Right.
And that's just not the case. And yes, it feels awesome to be seen for who we are. I'm in full support of that. And you don't need to change anything about your body to be seen for who you are. I can guarantee you that. It's just about finding the right people who see you
Right.
for who you are.
I was going to say my asterisk there is like seen for who you are, but not by everybody. Some people are going to see
No,
you for who they want to see you as, no matter what you do. The top surgery won't change that, right?
exactly.
And I think that like you need to find the people who are going to accept you. Something that a lot of the trans and non-binary clients that I work with experience is it's almost like they die in some senses and start over.
Mm,
That the people who were their close friends, their community, their family before they start exploring their gender and transitioning, large proportions of them cannot go with them on that journey,
yeah,
like cannot follow them on that journey. And that is sad. And also, I think that's okay. Like, not
it
everybody is in our
is.
life forever.
No, and that is okay. And it sucks and it's really hard. And anytime you grow, any type of self growth, whether it's gender or something else, there are going to be people who don't grow with you that you have to let go. And that's absolutely true. So, kind of bringing it back around to top surgery, make sure that you're doing it for you because you want to show up in the world in a particular way because it would feel good to be in your skin in that way. That is a really strong why. A couple of other things I would say, just super quick, is make sure you have your support system and recovery plan on lock, just super practically.
Yeah.
You're going to need help for a little bit. Make sure you have your meals planned or a meal train or like lots of like Grubhub credits or whatever. And make sure that you have everything that you need to make that recovery period as stressless as possible.
Yeah. And you can, like, I'm sure on Reddit there are a ton of threads about like things I wish I had for my top surgery recovery.
Yeah,
Like, find all of those. Treat it like getting ready for Burning Man, right? You don't
exactly.
have to reinvent the wheel. There's a list somewhere somebody has already created. Just find that list.
Exactly. And buy straws. You will want
I
straws.
I already have straws. Who doesn't
Oh,
have straws?
perfect. I don't know
Straws
some
are the
people don't have
best.
straws.
Come on. I got the metal straws that have the silicone tips that you put on, which is the
Ooh.
best of both worlds because the metal keeps it nice and cold, but the silicone feels much better in your mouth because metal
Ooh.
in the mouth is just a terrible. See, you can see right here my
Yeah,
little
I
metal,
like
and they're like
that.
rainbow metal, so like
What? That's
they're in my
super
same
cute.
color palette as the rest of my life, right?
I, I love this. Okay, well, I need to up my straw game, clearly.